Guys, there's so many cameras on the market right now. Which one's for you? What is up, guys? Welcome to the premiere of Season 2. I am Tristan Watkins. My name's down there, and I host this show. Let's just cut to the chase and get to the main question. Is there a perfect camera? No. So that means today's episode is completely objective. Nope. My goal today isn't to find you the perfect camera, it's to find you the camera that best suits your needs. But first, what is up with the seemingly business casual attire? Did a partnership buy Triflix? Are you selling out? No, actually, I've been laid off for 2 months, which I implied here. College has been getting in the way, work's out of the way, which we might talk about later. I got hired as an engineer, and hopefully I'll be having some cash flow come in, which I plan to be spending on a camera, thus inspiring today's episode. There are many websites designed to help you guys find the best cameras for the intended videos you guys plan on making, such as Snapsort, Image Resource, and DPreview, and a couple of others. These websites base their searches off of features you either may want or need. I will be using Snapsort.com for this episode. Let's go. My goal today is to explain some of the criteria so you guys can use this information to find the best cameras for the line of work you're in. Let's address the elephant in the room. You probably dream of a Red Epic, a C100, or an Ursa Mini, but let's be realistic. You have a budget, I have a budget, we have a budget. When using these sites, set the budget first. However, I do recommend raising your maximum price by about 20% because these websites do base it off of retail value, and oftentimes you can get the camera you desire for about 20% lower on sites such as Amazon, eBay, B&H, as well as Adorama. For myself, I plan on spending about $1,200. With the 20% hike up, we're going to be looking at about $1,450. Next, we can narrow down the search by the minimum resolution we want. As a filmmaker, there's a lot of times I get a shot that I really like, but the framing's a little off, so by selecting a 4K resolution, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room and slack whenever I get to the editing process of the video. The lowest resolution I would ever suggest is 1080p, and that's more for stationary videos such as a podcast or a gaming video, or possibly even your own YouTube series. After price and resolution, which I kind of consider mandatory, we look at more of the preferences and needs. High dynamic range will allow you to capture some really vivid images as well as some shots with high and low contrast of light and shadow. This creates a more cinematic effect. Perhaps you shoot a lot of action or racing scenes and you want some slow motion to make them a little bit more dynamic. Do you want to change out your lenses for more unique video experiences? I would suggest the interchangeable lenses feature. Do a lot of your shots have movement in them? You should probably check out the internal stabilization. But also note that if you have interchangeable lenses, most lenses these days come with OIS, or optical image stabilization. Now, by doing this, you don't necessarily need the internal stabilization anymore. If you have both, that's great because your shots are going to be that much more smooth. The benefit of internal stabilization over OIS of lenses is you no longer have to have a specified lens to have a smooth shot. The camera is going to be able to take almost any data and make it smooth, saving you guys money on cheaper lenses. Look for high megapixels. In addition to resolution, megapixels also increase the quality of each and every one of your shots. Low noise will reduce the static or fuzz in the back of the shots. For instance, my camera doesn't necessarily do well with low light, so you might actually see some static in the shadows of the shots you already see. High ISO allows more light into the camera. This is great for run and gun filmmakers who don't necessarily have time to set up all of the lights and equipment that typically goes with filmmaking. If you want to be able to manipulate your footage a lot in post-production, such as color corrections, and get as much detail going into the camera as possible, you want to look for the ability to shoot in RAW. RAW is essentially an uncompressed codec that a camera will record and receives quite a bit amount of information. And whenever you take that footage and put it in your post-production software, you can manipulate it quite a bit. Now you can see I've narrowed my choices down to 4 different cameras: the NX1, the GH4, and possibly the NX500, as well as the GX8. The reason the last 2 cameras are only possibilities is because the website's unsure if they are able to shoot RAW, and as a filmmaker, I want to be able to manipulate my footage as much as possible, so RAW is a must for me. So I'm going to head over to imageresource.com to compare the NX1 and the GH4. These are typically the 2 rivals between filmmakers within that $1,000 budget. So from here I can go up to the top and select the NX1 and the GH4 and compare them for myself, but please remember guys, no camera is perfect. Just try to find the one that's best for you. If you guys are stuck on the fence between a couple of different models, that's okay. Remember that these websites only are comparing by spec. Specs aren't facts. Before you even buy a model, check online for the customer reviews and see what other people are saying about it. If you're stuck between certain models, go online to places like YouTube and search for the specific model versus the other specific model. You'd be surprised how many people have been in the same position you are now. Perhaps even rent or stop at a local camera store and see if you can test drive any of these cameras yourself. Because let's be honest, no computer or customer review can tell you what the perfect camera for yourself is. They can only advise it based off of their own opinion or the spec sheets. When it's all said and done, you're going to be the one using this camera day in and day out. Find the one you like. Alright guys, so that's going to complete today's episode. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, let me know by liking it. And if you guys disliked it and made it this far through the video, I salute you and will not be offended if you hit the dislike button below, because that's how I learn what you guys like. But even more accurate than any ups or downs, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Go ahead and feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns. You can also send it to me on my Twitter over there. If you guys want to see more videos like this because you loved it so much, let me know by hitting the subscribe button down there. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will have an icon that says TFF. You can hover your mouse over it, and then it'll bloop, and then I'll say subscribe, and then you can do that, or not. I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys, but don't forget to keep working hard. Woo! Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We made some cool stuff lately to end the Season 1 and start off Season 2, because this is the premiere and all. So we got Jordan Armstrong in the bottom left. In the middle we got the 2015 recap. It's pretty long, but well worth it if you guys follow the show. And the pros and cons of working alone in the bottom right. If you guys liked today's episode, you'll probably like that one the most out of all of them. I guess I'll see you guys next episode. Love you. Bye.